Thank you so much for joining us today on another exciting edition of the Primetime STEM Festival Mentorship Sessions. My name is Lucy Akosua-Fiadonu, and I am your host. The mentorship sessions are aimed for giants in the STEM industry to share with our audience their experiences, their prospects that are found in the various fields, to give them the guidance they may need to reach their highest potential, as well as help us to discover and develop our interests and innermost passions. We are proudly brought to you by Absa Bank Ghana Limited with support from Joy News and Joy Learning. Today I have a number ready for you. Please do send your thoughts, your questions, your comments on past editions, yesterday's edition, and then as the conversation goes on today, on phone number 0555 818 2870, 055 8182 870. Looking forward to seeing all of your questions and comments and sharing them with our distinguished guest for today's edition, and have him respond and hear his take on each of your comments and questions. Jonathan, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's a great pleasure to have you here. Viewers, our guest is a robotics enthusiast. So I'll just leave it there because we'll be finding out more about what that means and all the good things that he has done. But let's take a quick break from our sponsors.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Today, the question is no longer, why do we have problems? But rather, how can we spin those challenges into opportunities? This is the revolutionary mindset we, students here at Academic City, are driven by. Academic City, we believe that the challenges of today are nothing like the opportunities of tomorrow. Hence, we're poised for the future. And so we say,
come join us.
Pakuli.
Jasanyan.
Oyaiti Battalion.
Self-Ramabia.
Yenu Wujwin.
Brabe Kanyo. Ow, Amansat Shame Rojao.
as we lead the charge to empower the next generation of future leaders. Academic City University College, redefining university education.
Alande. Make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, shadow fit to overlap. So sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Though I'm with speed like a G4 jet. You be at the day, I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks, city check.
Join the ABSA family and make fast, easy and safe transactions with our digital products. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long tail. We like 'em simple and easy.
Believe me, no long things in my life. Like I'm simple and easy.
Thank you very much for staying on. It promises to be an exciting episode. I know we do say that all the time, but this is extra special because we will be chatting to Jonathan Sowah, who's done wonderful things in the field of robotics. And well, without much ado, I'll leave you to share with us what your journey has been, and then we'll come back with our Q&A session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So,
Sure.
thank you very much. And I would like to say a very big thank you to the organizers. I'm very honored to be here. I'm Jonathan Sowah, 23 years of age. I grew up in Tishin. It's a town in Accra. Growing up, I had no one to look up to apart from my mom and my grandma. We were 3 boys and then a girl. So I started my basic education at Tishin Anglican Basic School. It's a public school. So while in school, when I was 13 years, I noticed how ICT was being taught in the school. It wasn't something that you would get a lot as a student. So I had to drop out from primary school when I was 13, and then I started working at an internet cafe. So while working there, I got exposed to the internet. I was watching tutorials on YouTube on how to program, how to do a lot of things. So I took that as an opportunity to learn. While learning, I was saving money to go back to school. So I worked there for a year, saved a substantial amount of money, and then told my parents that, okay, so now I want to go to a boarding school, because if I'm going to a day school, I would still have to go to the internet cafe to work, and that would affect my academics. So I went to Bright Basic School at Kukrintumi to continue my basic school education. After there, I came to Labone Senior School with hopes of doing biology so that I would be a neurosurgeon. So, when we started the year, I was in a biology class. Then our assistant headmaster changed our class. I then went to a geography class instead of biology. So imagine someone who wants to be a neurosurgeon, and within a snap of a finger, your dreams are being changed for you. You go to school with aim of becoming a neurosurgeon. That means I had to do biology. Then I'm doing geography. So I felt like that was the end of my world. I fasted, I prayed, but the answers were not coming, because I'll fast for 3 days, go to my assistant headmaster, and his answers will still be no. So while there, I wanted something to draw me to the school, because of that experiences, I felt like dropping out again, staying back at home. Like the way I was going to school, it reduced. So I wanted something to draw me close to going to school. So I then started a club, because I also noticed that ICT was treated as an extracurricular subject. You would treat it in your first year and second year, but you won't write it in WASI. And I was really good with ICT because of my previous experience. So then I started a club. When I started, teachers were against me, especially some of the biology teachers. They would come to the ICT lab, see me, be like, "You don't think you're wasting your time. This thing will not help you. Every day, computer." So I had nothing to do, and I wanted something to let me come to school. So I felt like that was my safe place. So when I'm not in the class learning, I'm in the ICT lab, pressing computers, looking at codes and all that. Then I started a club, which was called Cretech. So when I started a club, I recruited other students, I recruited my mates, and then we started training the juniors. So every year, we recruit new students to train. And then it started, the school thought it was a joke till we trained some students. I personally trained some girls to represent the school in the MTN Apps Challenge. And then they came out successful. They created an application to aid pregnant women. I'll tell you more about that.
I'm interested.
So aside that, we also participated in national competitions, robotics competitions, international competitions. We won some, we lost some. And then while my geography teacher, it's quite unfortunate that the subject I hated most, I got the teacher that I liked through that subject. So he saw the potential of what we were doing in the school and was like, Jonathan, you can actually make a business out of this. You can do this in other schools. So think about it and let me know. I went home, thought about it, and then I came back and I was like, yeah, I'm ready to start a business. Can you show me the way forward? And then he gave me money to go to the Registrar General's department to buy the company registration forms to register the business. And I did. He helped me with the registration and all that. So that is where the business started. It started in school. So right after senior high school, I started working on it, I didn't have, with robotics, you have to have a kit to do it. So I didn't have a kit. So a very good friend of mine borrowed me one. It's called Ernest. When it did, I started working with it till, I got more money to procure more kits. And that is where InovTech started. And over the years, we've been traveling throughout the country, reaching out to underserved communities, letting students in those communities know that these high quality experiences is not limited to only those in the cities. They can also have some, they can also experience some, they can also know what it takes to learn robotics, what it takes to learn coding. And we've been successful so far. We've reached out to over 15,000 students since we started. And fortunately, we've also been training teachers for the Ghana Education Service. And it has been an amazing experience. So that's a bit about me.
That's a lot, not just a bit. And well celebrated in your ride. But at a very young age, I must say. So I'm just thinking to myself, because, you just didn't like the way IT was being taught, I'm not going to continue, please. How is that possible? Didn't you get any resistance from parents or, weren't you afraid?
For being afraid, I wasn't. I was thinking, I didn't have any father figure.
Right.
To, how fathers are, yeah. So I didn't have any father, like a fatherly figure. So I was there with my grandma and my mother.
You're the eldest of the siblings?
I'm the second.
You're the second boy? Okay.
I'm the second boy. So my grandmother, she would talk, insult. You know how a grandmother is. How a normal grandmother is. So, but she called me in the middle of the night one day. And when I dropped out from basic school, she was like, she has been the one supporting me.
Right.
Yes. So she was like, Jonah, I'm doing all this for you. Why do you want my enemies to laugh at me?
I can understand.
I want you to be a doctor. Right. Why have you stopped going to school? And then I told her that I would be a doctor for her, but I don't think that school at that moment was the right place for me. And she said she doesn't have money because we were a lot. She has orphans that she was also taking care of. So, then I had to start working to raise money on my own. So when I started the work and then got the money, I went to her and I was like, I've raised some money. I've seen a school in Kukwintumite, a boarding school. So I want you to help me go and take a form. This is my money. You can add a little amount to it and then So it was the next day, and then she sent my mom to go. We picked the phone. The next week, we bought the chalkboards and provisions and all that. And I went to the school.
This is just you at 14, or was it 13?
Yes.
Where do you get these ideas from? Where do you find, look at how far the school is from Teshi, and you knew about it.
I saw it on TV.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was a very stubborn boy. Very stubborn, like headstrong. So when I put my mind on something, I make sure it's done.
You want to see it through.
Yes, unless I don't have any kind of power on it. But as long as it's concerning me, I make sure I see it.
Once it's within your power.
Yes.
Awesome. And so this is Bright
Basic School.
Bright Basic School.
Yes.
And how was that like? What's different about Bright that we get that you didn't want the interruptions, you didn't like the way stuff was being taught, subjects were being taught, or ICT in particular was being taught. So was that any different in Bright?
Bright, it wasn't any different because ICT was still not being treated there. When I went there at that time, we were not using computers, but the teaching was very good. Okay. The teacher is experienced, and with my previous experience with computers, I also assisted because it's a village. And I'm in a class, we were only 2 boys from Accra. I want to say Accra for a new vehicle. So with my exposure in computing, when the teacher is not there, I would take care of the ICT classes and all that. So, it was like encouraging because I know I'm doing something.
You are helping.
Also empowering other students.
Absolutely.
And all that. And the school is amazing. It's a great place to be.
Though it was far away.
It was, I wanted time for myself.
Okay.
And I wanted to learn. I missed school for a year.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch up. So I think it was the right place for me. I learned a lot. When I was there, I went to a competition, and the only subject that proved me that was cheap because they do a crafting. So I came out second.
Oh.
But it was an amazing experience. And if you tell me to go back to that school, I'll still go.
You'll still do it?
Yes.
You must have loved it so much. Then from there...
I came to Laboni Senior
So
School.
Let me understand. So Bright Basic, you continued the primary you dropped out of, and then did the JHS at the time there.
Yes.
And then sat for BCE.
Yes.
And then selected Laboni, or that's what you got?
I chose Achimota.
You chose Achimota.
I chose Achimota. I actually got my last choice, which was Teshi Pusek.
Okay.
Because I was based in Teshi.
Right.
But I really wanted to go to Achimota because I wanted to be exposed.
Absolutely.
So when I didn't get Achimota, I was disappointed. Then a friend of my aunt knew someone, knew the headmistress. So he took my results to her, and she was like, no, we need this student because I did very well.
Right.
I had a single number. So yes.
Good stuff.
No, thanks. So I had a single number, so
nice.
She took me immediately, and then everything went well.
But you stand there, well, I don't find it a risk, but you would be a day student this time.
Yeah, I became a day student.
Yeah, proximity. What you were running away
I actually
from?
got a boarding school. I got boarding.
Okay.
But I didn't like boarding since it's close, Teshi Labadi. So I decided to choose the day rather.
Yeah, so with your single digit, you chose to do science,
yes,
general science, and then chose these very special electives, but minus geography.
Minus geography. And then, oh God.
No, you're not really living it, but we want to be encouraged from there. When you get a course that you do not choose, what do you do? What must you do? So you're still on top of things.
I think
it is disheartening.
Yes, it is.
But
I'm actually reliving the moment.
Oh.
So it's. I think you need to find something in the school. I didn't want to do anything apart from biology so that I could make my grandmother proud.
Yeah.
She has been calling me doctor since I was a kid. doctor. So I really wanted to make her proud. So when I didn't get it, I had to learn. I want to make sure that I just pass. I don't repeat. I just pass it and get out of school, so that I can do remedials in biology, so that I can go and further my education. But when the ICT, the robotics coding thing came in mind, I was like, okay, that is it.
No more.
That's my own dream right now. So I think you just need to make sure you enjoy what you are learning.
Right.
It's an opportunity. If I'm not sure I would be impacting more students if I hadn't
Did the
done
biology. Yeah.
the biology. So I thank
Well,
God
you
for
just
it.
don't know.
I mean, if I had done the biology, I'm sure I would be a really serious student in the university right now. Doing some concussions, chemistry stuff.
Drinking some acid and base.
But I think the robotics brought a lot of adventures. Traveling to a village that you don't know anyone, going to eat with strangers, going to eat their food. You don't know what they even used to cook. Eating different types of food, meeting new people, learning new cultures. It's an amazing experience. So the adventures it comes with, that's the most exciting part.
I'm really getting that Labone is really a hub for people who want to be, I won't say technology inclined. I know several people who have gone to Labone and have turned out very well. Well, personally, one of my cousins did go to Labone. You can see that there's some seriousness in there. I just want you to share some more light on your experience in Labone. You started your club. Yes. You're doing your geography you did not love. And then really take us through how that, experience was really.
Okay, so when I was there, our headmistress was Kids Bannerman. You don't mess with that.
You don't mess with Miss
And she always makes sure you're on point. We had to wear, slippers like the other one. I don't know how to call it. It's like a beck.
Okay.
No becking stock, how beck is, but the one that you tie the stuff. You don't wear shoes. And when you wear that becking stock, you don't add socks.
Okay.
And the place was dusty.
Yeah.
So you had to wear socks. And as stubborn as I was, I'm being caught every day.
Called into an office?
Not a office, but by the seniors.
Right.
I'm fortunate I didn't get a chance to meet, as
on those grounds.
Yes, because I would definitely be suspended.
Yeah.
It wasn't once, it wasn't twice. I consistently do that. So she made the school really exciting for me because there's always something up. And when she noticed that we were doing robotics, she was really up for it. Right. She was supporting us. Hey guys, what do you need? When you tell her, okay, I'll work on it. Whenever we are going for a program, we went for a program by Blue Crest. She organized
Blue Crest. Yeah, formerly an IIT. Yeah.
She organized the bus for us, pushing us like, we'll make everything possible for you guys to go. So, having people like that who are supporting you in terms of, the choice you've taken is really inspiring, and it empowers you to do more. So, aside her, I have the teacher, the geography teacher I met, Mr. Isaac Gucci, is an amazing person. He's really amazing, and I think it's an answered prayer.
Right.
So I always tell him that it shouldn't worry. When I get to one, I'll do something. Because, he loved me. He took me as his little brother. He talks to me, he advises me. I was falling behind in geography.
Right.
He called me and,
encouraged you to do your best.
Very good. And he's lively, he's talking to you he's not talking to you like a teacher.
Okay.
You get it? He's talking to you like a concerned brother. So you know that, okay, you are actually messing up. So you have to stand up and then do well. So apart from in my class, my class was the only science class who is multi-talented. Like we have multi-talented people.
Awesome.
So I was learning the guitar. There's someone playing sax.
Right.
There's this guy also playing guitar. Like science students, but what they want to do is different.
Right.
You get it? So the class was exciting. The headmistress and then the teachers. That was what made me really enjoy Lagwanis in high school.
No, it makes me want to be in your class at the time. You know, guys, I think the lesson here for us is that sometimes you may not always get what you want, but once you are in there, find something. I think that's your word. Find something.
Find something.
Find something that you love and make the most out of it.
Very good.
And just being a science student, you know, usually from where I'm from, it's just, that's the only thing we came here to do. Get your grades and go. But you had classmates who were also doing extracurricular items that are equally very important.
Our class prefect was a poet. Yes. And he also goes to the choir. He's like a really good singer.
Wow.
He's got justice. And, you know, having people like that, you...
Made it a very good experience.
Yes.
Awesome.
We have comedians in our class. We have dancers,
dear.
like professional dancers.
Right.
So it was a really amazing experience. Really amazing.
We should all go to school.
Oh yes, especially like one is in high school.
And be in the science class,
Yes.
please. No, awesome. But you were sharing with us about how the club started. I know it's an exciting class, but then, Charlie, let's form a club. You need licensing. Or not?
Yes. You know, our previous seniors started something like that.
Okay, like a science club of sorts.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was a robotics club. But they did their best. They did their best. But the students were not taking part. They weren't enjoying things because they had to go. They had to they were writing their WASI and things, so they didn't get the chance to get. And for me, I wanted to put more in. I didn't want it to be like only robotics, so coding, graphic designing, animations and all that, because those are things that I've learned and I was willing to teach. And there were other students who are like really great with animations and stuff. They were also great students with programming backgrounds. So I had to recruit all of them together and form a team and train as genius. We train our colleagues as well,
Right.
but we train our genius more because we will be leaving soon. They will take over and then
So you
do the
wanted
same.
continuity.
Very good.
Awesome. But I just want to understand, when you say recruit, when you say train, in my mind, I'm getting, you have some modules, you had some syllabus or some manual or some pamphlet you were going through. Okay, today, when you come for club class sessions, we'll do 1, 2, 3, or this group. Can you give us a feel of that?
Yes, I did a curriculum.
You drew up a curriculum?
I drew up a
Awesome.
curriculum for robotics. I did for animation. I did for coding itself, and then app development.
What goes into it so that we can know and look out for, maybe if you're not privileged to be in a club as yours on our own, just as you are self-taught, we too can find these modules online, where else, libraries, and put it together and begin to do the self-taught journey as well.
Most of my learning has been on YouTube. So I take a crash course on YouTube, whatever I want. So if it's app development, I search for app development crash course.
Okay.
And then I learn the necessary things. Then, from the way they've modeled their things, I do a copy and then I Ghanaize it.
I like that word.
I make sure that it fits in.
Awesome.
When I'm giving them a problem, the problem has to be related to Ghanaians.
Right.
To fit our Ghanaian culture.
Right.
So that is what I did. And I think that has helped me a lot in running my business because there are trainings that we are doing. And these trainings, we incorporate science in them. We have to incorporate physics, the maths, chemistry sometimes, and then biology. So teaching biology with robotics,
Interesting.
letting kids know the life cycle of a frog,
Right.
building a tadpole to, the big frog itself.
Right.
And structuring this kind of curriculum was challenging.
Yeah, it must
But
be.
with the previous experience I had in school, it made everything simple because I knew what I wanted. I know I want this curriculum to have maths in it. It should have science in it. It needs to have the STEM, all the STEM stuff in it, so that when, let's say, when you are teaching geometry, when they are learning geometry in class, they can learn geometry in the robotics club. And then with this one, it's more applicable because they are seeing the relevance of what they are learning. They are seeing its act. So you are calculating the area of a circle. You are using it to move a robot. You are using it to let the robot move in a certain distance. So you see, okay, so actually pi is important. You get it? So all those things make things really
So how did you find your WASI? With all of this busy life you were running?
So,
No, that is... So we just want to see how that becomes another, you know,
Oh, yeah.
you know, when you did the Bright, you did so well.
I
It
did.
propelled you into, well,
I
not
did.
Achimota, but Laboni, exciting.
I did so well with my basic school education, but when I went to Labone, I was full of, like, my head was full of IT. So I got behind in the maths, the elective especially. I didn't enjoy it anyway, but I would encourage all my viewers here to enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it because I didn't like the teacher. You know, something that compels you to learn is your teacher. When the teacher understands what they are teaching. But some teachers are mathematicians, but they don't know how to teach maths. I hope you get it. The fact that someone is a professional mathematician doesn't mean they can teach maths. There are teachers who can teach maths, and they are mathematicians. So, you know, they made life quite... It wasn't only me. A lot of my mates failed in that subject, and it was bad, like really bad.
Well, you're a teacher in your right. I mean, thus far you're teaching robotics and what have you. What should they have been doing different? What should we be doing differently so that we'll have our students enjoy the math as you have enjoyed your IT and you're doing great things
Okay,
today?
so they have to make it fun.
How do we make it fun?
You know, you are teaching kids. If you are not an exciting individual, like someone with a good sense of humor, your students will not enjoy your class. And it's something that you can, like, a research has even been done on it, that when students don't like a certain teacher, they fail drastically in their subjects.
Okay.
So you have to be likable. You know, students need to love you to
Right.
enjoy your class.
Right.
Yes. You know, what we do, we mostly teach kids. And with kids, if they don't love you, that is it.
Wow.
You will be teaching and then they'll be crying because they want you out of the class.
Oh dear.
So how do you make the class exciting for them?
That's the
You know.
question. How do we make it exciting? Maybe it's not in my temperament. Okay, then I should go and learn
Learn, you need
how to be
learn.
likable.
You know, one of my facilitators, it comes to me like, these kids are really stressful. How can I make them sit at one place? And I told him, okay, give them a challenge. Okay,
Right.
let them know they have ownership of their learning.
Let them know they have ownership of their learning.
Let them
Right.
know the relevance of what they are learning. So
Okay.
I tell you, okay, we are going to do this. This is what it means in the real world. And after this, you have to build a project for me. Do you get it?
Right.
So they are like, okay. Even when they are thinking of the project, and it's exciting because, okay, I have to build a project that is solving this kind of problem. Do you get it? So it makes the whole experience...
The learning experience exciting and you look forward to it. We're taking cues. And of course, you have relationships with the Ghana Education Service, as do we. But I'm sure you're making input, you're sharing these ideas with them as you engage with them.
Yes, I am.
So that they can make STEM education very exciting by being likable themselves. It's not just being the storehouse of the knowledge, but how you deliver it is also very key. So you don't have our students dropping out. They might not be as fortunate as you were, who was able to come back and is still doing something exciting. So before we came here, we're asking about how you fared in WASI. And of course, if you don't have very good grades, how then do you do your uni? So that's where we're going.
Okay.
And so having done the WASI, whatever grade you got, what next? What was the next
So,
thing?
I did, apart from my elective maths and then chemistry, the teachers were so.
Don't worry.
Yeah. So when I completed, I wanted to do robotics engineering.
Okay.
So that was around 2018. And there were no schools doing that as, a Bachelor of Science
Right.
program. So I then had to go back online, search for tutorials on robotics. I started with MIT on YouTube. So I started learning the basics and all that. And then I later saw a course from UPenn on Coursera, and I applied. I bought all the necessary things I needed to pursue that, and then I started taking it. Aside that, I'm learning a lot of things from Duke University, Michigan, and all those stuff. So I'm continuously learning because I want to be, STEM is diverse.
Right,
so,
STEM is diverse.
So you need to know everything.
You need to know a lot.
As an aspiring professional in STEM, I need to be there. I need to be there. So I'm always learning new trends, AI, AR, augmented reality and virtual reality,
yes.
and all those things. I'm just
learning.
I don't care.
Life,
I don't care whether I need it now or not.
No.
I need the experience. I need the exposure. I need to know what it means. Because students are learning, and then once you have a student, there are students who ask a lot of questions in class. You'll be teaching them robotics, and they'll be like, "Sir, do you know VR? What is it? I saw someone wearing some big goggles, and then you were doing this." So you have to explain it to them, because if you don't explain it, that means you don't know anything. That is to kids. If they ask you questions and you are not able to give them a valid answer, that is it. That means
they'll stop liking you.
You don't know.
And they'll cry and sack you from the class. Yeah. Wow. I'm personally encouraged. You just don't care. I mean, if I can just coach you, all you need, all your focus is just learning, and getting the experience that you have. You might not know where it will be useful, but for you, what's important, anytime any of your students ask, you should have an answer ready for them. And that's where you sustain, the interest in STEM and keep them going.
That's true.
I am very proud of this statement.
Thank you.
Well, let's take a respite and hear from our sponsors.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's APSA.
Today, the question is no longer, why do we have problems? But rather, how can we spin those challenges into opportunities? This is the revolutionary mindset we, students here at Academic City, are driven by. Academic City, we believe that the challenges of today are nothing like the opportunities of tomorrow. Hence, we're poised for the future. And so we say,
come join us.
Pakuli. We are Iti Battalion.
Zalfura Media.
Bien rejoindre.
Brabe Kanyan. Ao, Amansat Shame Hojao.
as we lead the charge to empower the next generation of future educators. Academic City University College, redefining university education.
Make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, schedule fit to overlap. So sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Do I'm with speed like a G4 jet. Baby, other day I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks to the check.
Join the ABSA family and make fast, easy, and safe transactions with our digital products. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long tail. We like 'em simple and easy.
Believe me, no long tense in my life, though. Like I'm simple and easy. Easy.
No, thank you so much for staying on. The number still remains 055-818-2870. Please send your questions, send your comments. Just feel free and send them onto this number so that we'll be sure to share with Jonathan. I know you're having a wonderful time listening into us and watching us as well. And we too are having a great time here, sharing and speaking with Jonathan. We're also live on STEM Fest GH and NSMQ page on Facebook. We are also on Instagram, though not live, but you still can send your messages and your comments onto our pages on there. And we'll pick them up as part of our conversations. I know when we went offline, we were speaking about teachers and the role they play, and we can see it manifest through your life and see how very key, their role is. It's not just enough coming into the classroom and delivering, but it must make impact. And maybe you want to take those opportunity to say something to those two that you mentioned, and maybe there are many others that
Okay, let me start from the beginning. I hated maths a lot. Like, if I could see maths in person, I would
strangle.
I hated maths when I was a kid. So when I was in Teshi Anglican Music School, one of the teachers, that was our class teacher, Miss Vida Ute, she noticed that because I would do so well in all the subjects and then fail drastically in maths. And she saw that, and she took that upon herself as a challenge to help me with the maths. And I hate insults. So she one day called me a math phobian, someone who doesn't know maths. And I didn't know what it meant. So I took my dictionary and then said, oh, okay, oh God, this is an insult. So I told her that, I went to her and then I was like, this is what it means. But I don't know. I don't like it. So how can I do well? She started teaching me math. And then she's the reason why I started enjoying math. So
Shout outs to
a
you.
very big shout out to her. I tell her every day.
Right.
She's now the headmistress of the Teshi Anglican Basic School.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I'm so proud of her.
Madam, we are proud of you.
She's
Thank
like
you
big
so
mama.
much.
And then, apart from her, to my geography teacher, Mr. Isaac Butchie, wherever you are, he's in Canada now doing his master's. So thank you very much. A very big shout out to you. To Mr. Dunyo in Laboni Senior High School. He taught us physics. And then he is the only teacher that I think was concerned, apart from the geography teacher, with my academics. He called me and was like, he called me robotics boy. He calls me robotics boy. He said, hey, robotics boy, right. Like, you're not doing well. So I told him that, see, I want to learn, but I can't do extra classes because I don't have money. And I'm in school. You know, I don't come from a rich family. My grandmother is taking care of other orphans. So I don't want to disturb her with extra classes. He was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. So I was in the class one day and he called me and like, Jonah, Mawabu, Batashim, classes. So he had other classes to do, but he left everything and then started teaching me physics and then chemistry. So a very big shout out to him. He helped me a lot. And then anytime I go there and I see him, I just, God, bless this one for me. Yes. And then apart from him, I would also thank the HOD for the ICT department in Laboni, Mrs. Harriet Klug Jackson. Yes, Mrs. Harriet. She has been an amazing support system. You know, these women that make sure there are opportunities for the students in the tech field. Like, if it's computing, my ICT students, let's go. Any opportunity, as long as she can support, she's there. As long as she's alive and in the school, she's there. And then, I mean, you would see Laboni students, especially the IT students, they will testify. The woman brings a lot of opportunities to them.
Right.
A lot of them. Anytime there is a competition, she makes them aware. I need you to be trained. And then she'll call me, Jonah, OBA, your children, they need your help. And I would come and help. And she supports, and all these things from her own pocket.
Right.
You know,
we salute you, ma.
Yes. I think the other time they did the ICT week. And then she brought, you know, the tech companies in Ghana to talk to the students, to do a semi-workshop. And it was a really exciting moment for the students. You know, so having teachers like this who are passionate about encouraging students to learn, to explore, and to like take ownership of their lives. These are the teachers we need.
These are the teachers we need indeed.
These are the teachers we need. Not teachers that when you are learning something, they will say like, you will fail. What you are doing will never succeed. Like, I personally had that experience in the biology teacher, the biology that I wanted to do. The biology teacher came to our class and then told us that we will fail. Like, we don't know anything and we are not serious in life. So we will become, you know, useless. He said that. And this is something I would never forget because, you know, someone that you wanted to take his course, someone that you look up to, coming to you to discourage you that you'll be useless in life because we were talking. It was a free period. And, you know, science class, we were talking. The other classes were quiet, but we were talking. And then he came in and said that. I mean, it was a really devastating moment for me personally. Because I don't like those things. I don't like insults. So, and to go to the extent of saying we'll be useless in the future, you know, it encourages me to work more. Seriously.
No, good stuff, yeah.
I took that as like a push. I took that as an inspiration.
Right.
To put effort in whatever.
Yes.
And then I remember when CNN heard of us, through Voice of America's documentary on my company.
Which we'll be talking about.
Yes. So we went to the school, and then the crew, they were all white and they were following me all around. So it's something like, do I know you? It's like, yes, you know me. Then you went. I didn't want to say anything, but I feel like I'm still proving him wrong, and I'm proving myself that the fact that a student is not doing your course doesn't mean they will fail in life. I mean, we've had those experiences with teachers who, let's take a chemistry teacher for example. So a student has found an interest in poems, and then the student is pursuing that interest, and they'll be like, why are you wasting your time on this? Stop that and come and do chemistry. Like,
Those kinds
things.
of comments.
And then those comments, they don't see how far those comments go, but it really affects the students. So I urge our teachers out there to support the dreams of their students.
The dreams of their students.
Yes.
Oh, no, thank you so much, all our teachers. I think growing up, there used to be a statement, thank a teacher, and then you had a teacher's day, and then our day, you have to give them something special. We doff off our hats to all of you, our teachers, who have held us through, and all of the other ones too. Jonah says, we'll ask the students, we'll prove you wrong, and we'll continue to be motivated, even with all of those comments, to do the very best, to, in fact, do more. The sky is our limit. Let's talk about your business, because when you took the form, you're still in Laboni Senior High School, going to register general. You were not 18, so how then are you able to fill the forms, or was it a proxy? Let's understand how you built the business.
Okay, so and, I noticed I wasn't up to age yet, so I told my grandmother that this is what I want to do. I'm not 18 yet, so I'm going to put your name there. But be mindful, this is my business.
Grandma.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
My grandmother, she's my support system.
Right.
So she was like, oh, no problem. I brought her I filled everything with her name. When I got to the signature part, she signed. Then I submitted it, and it went through the system. They approved. And that is where the business started.
So have you done the change of name now that you're of age?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have.
The change of shareholders, as it were.
Yes, I have.
Awesome. So what is your business about? I know it's InovTech.
InovTech.
Yes, but what are you doing?
So
tell us.
With InovTech, we are making the subject students are learning, the concepts they are learning, relevant to robotics education.
Okay.
So if they are learning science, you are learning physics, average speed. How does it affect you in the real world?
Yeah, how does that?
We'll use robotics to teach you
and
make it very simple. I had experiences with physics in school. The teacher will come and teach average speed. They will teach, speed.
Electricity, all these
those things.
Yes.
But, our system, you go to the lab, the only thing there was a pendulum. So that was the only experiment that we did.
You did, yeah.
And then you don't see any other thing, the relevance of what you are learning. So with robotics, okay, I can do this with let's say the speed. When I calculate the speed, when I take the math aspect, okay, I can use geometry for this. I have this challenge. I want my robot to move this way. Okay, let me use the Pythagoras theorem to do it this way so that it can be there, get to this point very faster. So you see, they are understanding the concept. So okay, so I can use Pythagoras theorem for this. So I can use circle, the area of a circle for this. So when I calculate the radius of the wheel, I can do this stuff. If you had that kind of experience while in school, don't you think you would enjoy the subject more?
I will.
Because you are seeing it.
Yes, I am.
You are seeing the relevance of what you are learning.
But I'm sure it's not abstract as you're sharing with me. You're working with some tools.
Yes.
And you mentioned earlier about a kit you didn't have money for. Yes. And, you had money, you then put it together and things like that. What goes into this kit that I'm sure InovTech puts together for the courses that you run? Okay,
so with those kits, we outsource them.
Oh, okay. You can build it from scratch from what you have here?
So,
piece it together?
From our experience, we can now create those kits with woods.
Okay.
Our current project, we are creating those kits with plastic bottle.
Okay. Recycling.
So, yeah, we are recycling plastic
Those
bottle
ones
to
to
create
create.
those kits
Awesome.
so that it can be affordable
And solving another
it can be
world
affordable
problem.
to all the students in Africa, because those things are very expensive.
Yeah, okay.
They are really, really expensive, and that is why it's only for the privileged. You know, those experiences. If a school is doing robotics and it's a private school, you know, they are paying a lot for it. So imagine a Saito school, imagine a public school. Can they afford that? Would the government be able to do that?
They'll try.
Yeah,
Through the Science Resource Center program.
yes.
They'll try.
For now, yes. But then, you know, it was quite a struggle. And then me going to Saito, not getting that kind of experience, and then now being exposed to it, I felt like, okay, those, you know, people from my background, we are actually suffering. So why don't I start a business that could actually focus on those people, that could give them that same high quality experiences.
Right.
So that is where, you know, the whole thing started. And then we go to schools. I started with my alma mater, Teshin Anglican. I went and I was like, I met my madam there. See, you are the reason why I've created this business, because I became good in maths because of you. I'm not going to take anything from the students.
Yeah, of course. I'm also thinking how profitable the business has become.
Yes.
But no problem, go ahead.
I'm not going to take anything from these students. I'm going to bring my kids, I'm going to bring my facilitators, and then we are going to train them for free. We'll pick a day or two in a week, and then we'll be there consistently to train them in robotics and then in coding. And she was like, see, Jonah, these are the opportunities I want for your children. She calls them my children. So anytime you're ready, just let me know so that we can start. I thought it was a joke, but the woman was more serious than I was. And she told the other teachers, okay, so then they fixed the dates. Then we started going. And then, you know, students who are not getting access to these things, knowing that, okay, I can actually program something. I can actually program this to do this.
Wow. The joy on their faces. Oh, thank you so much for bringing so much joy to other children, like you say, well, in underprivileged areas. But now they are privileged because they have
they are very privileged, yes.
Very privileged with the stuff. So what have you built with them so far? I'm sure you have over 15,000 students that you have passed through your hands and through InovTech. What have you built with them?
During the COVID, my students in Laboni Senior High School, I tasked them, okay, see, the COVID is spreading. This is a challenge, okay? Build something that could stop the spread. And then they built a smart hand sanitizer.
Okay.
So with that smart hand sanitizer, imagine what they built it from.
No, you tell me. Bamboo?
No. You know the big yellow gallon?
Yeah, the gallon.
Yes, they cut everything and then they did the 3D design perfectly. They are very good in that. But now it came out to fabricating it. So they used that plastic gallon and then added the sensors, programmed it, and it was amazing.
Awesome.
So with that, I just posted it somewhere on my page, and then it got attention in Kenya. So a journalist from Kenya contacted me, Charlie, oh, is this what your kids are doing?
Awesome.
Like, oh yeah. And she was like, okay, I want to make an article about it, talk about it in InovTech STEM Centre. And I really think that woman, because she actually taught me, how to talk to people, as an interviews and stuff.
Very key.
Yes.
And how to tell your story.
Elizabeth Okwach,
right.
She's from Kenya. She has been an amazing woman in my life, all the time encouraging me. Jonah, if I told her I'm coming here, she's like, okay, I'll be watching. Make sure you don't slack. Because
I guess she's watching now.
Yes, she has taught me what to do when you are talking. Don't be shy. I'm a very shy person. Seriously, this is all fake.
No, but well, this is what time will afford us. Thank you, Alice, for the opportunity that you, well, not necessarily an opportunity, but really grooming Jonah here and letting him have a wonderful time interacting with him. We've had a wonderful time interacting with him and the wonderful things that we've shared. I think we need to come back to this story. There seems there'll be more to it from when we leave here. You are a new pen, and we wish you the very best with that and finishing and continuing through InovTech with making sure that underprivileged students become privileged by understanding the concepts and making them very practical for them, relatable for them, so that they can enjoy STEM as you have, I have, and the rest of us have. Please, we still continue our conversations on nurturing tomorrow's generation of STEM leaders. I salute you. Jonathan, you're indeed a STEM leader. I'm looking forward to the greater heights that you will reach. But we'll be here tomorrow, 5 p.m. We'll continue the exciting conversations. Watch us live on NSMQ page. Watch us live on STEMFemGH. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's APSA.
Today, the question is no longer, why do we have problems? But rather, how can we spin those challenges into opportunities? This is the revolutionary mindset we, students here at Academic City, are driven by. Academic City, we believe that the challenges of today are nothing like the opportunities of tomorrow. Hence, we're poised for the future. And so we say,
Come join us.
Pakuli.
Yasanyan.
Uyai Tibatalian.
Zalfura Nadia.
Bien rejoindre.
Brabe Kayam. Ow, I'm gonna start Shami Hojal.
as we lead the charge to empower the next generation of future leaders. Academic City University College, redefining university education.
Make I walk you through my everyday life. Busy, busy, busy from the morning light. My to-do list long, shadow fit to overlap. So sharp, sharp, turn on mobile app. School fees check, light bills check. Though I'm with speed like a G4 jet. Baby, the thing I am not upset. Check, I don't even use checks, see they check.
Join the Absa family and make fast, easy, and safe transactions with our digital product. Log on to absa.com.gh. No long thing. We like them simple and easy.
Believe me, no long things in my life, though. Like I'm simple and easy.